Okay, here's the super fluke, guys, that everybody uses. And like I said, most people just rig it, most people just rig it like this on an EWG hook and just rig it where they can fish it fast across the surface. But guys, the thing that really works good on this, and this was actually, a friend of mine, Brent Chapman, clued me in on this years ago down in Florida, is flipping a fluke on a Texas rig, just like you'd flip a jig or flip a worm or creature bait or something like that. And it's pretty simple. Most of the time I'm using like anywhere between say like a quarter to a 5/16 ounce slip sinker, usually like a 2 to 3/0 EWG hook. You guys hear me talking about I don't like EWG hooks. I don't. I use straight shanks most of the time, but the way that the fluke falls and the way that it sets up in the bait, it's not conducive to a straight shank. It doesn't look good. It doesn't work as good. So you definitely want to use the EWG. This is the Gamakatsu hybrid worm hook. And simply just come through about, 1/8 of an inch like you would. You're gonna come through the bottom of the fluke in that little channel there and bring it out the back side of the fluke. Just simple Texas rig. And now most of the time, I don't bury it back in, guys. See, I've got it just resting on the top there. It's pretty weedless if you just let it rest across the top, and it definitely helps your hook sets. And then I'll peg the sinker, with the toothpick like that. So it's, pretty simple setup. And also, pitching and flipping it on the same type of setup I would anything else. Megabass flipping stick, usually 17 to 20 pound test Seaguar and Vizex line. So here's the situations where I've done the best on flipping a fluke around. Most of the time it's really, really good flipping it around some type of shallow vegetation. If you got lily pads, gator grass, water willows, shallow hydrilla milfoil, lily pad roots, anything like that, really, really works good. Also really works good in the state of Florida. Florida is a really good bait, really good place to throw a Texas rig fluke down there. Cattails is a really good place. If you got bulrushes or caught cattails, it can be really productive with that. But here in Missouri, I've caught them about around anything. Flooded bushes, I've caught them around flipping around underneath boat docks, lay down trees, same type of stuff that you would flip anything else. But the thing about it is just the profile. There's no action to it at all. It's just a stick of plastic going straight through the water, very subtle, doesn't telegraph itself, doesn't have any vibration, doesn't displace much water. The reason it works good, it's just subtle. It's a subtle, quiet bait, and that's why baits like maybe the Cinco works real good, same type of deal, no curly tail. Sometimes the bass, the mood and the personality of the bass, when they're finicky a little bit, they just want something like this that doesn't make a lot of commotion, with no curly tail or anything, or no flapping legs like on a creature bait. So that's what makes the Texas rig fluke